So, I got a text message from this astrology app that I think is kind of cool. It often has good little snippets, and you know, try not to commit one act of self hatred today was the message I got, and it's kind of timely because I'm learning that these mechanisms, they're like thought forms that just repeat, and they're incessant, and we ruminate or we just loop them. Yeah, they're like programs. They're like, when you get a virus on your computer, the hard drive is sickened with this thing that just relentlessly runs in the background and takes bandwidth and energy and all these things. And like, if we're a soul in a body, having a spiritual experience, not a human being having a spiritual experience, a spiritual being having a human experience, then it makes sense that, you know, patterns of destruction are like bad programs, like toxic, like the things we don't want to get on our computer. It's why we have protection, but we don't protect ourselves spiritually. Our worst enemy is inside of us. It's the thoughts that we think. So, you know, forgiving our primary family for not knowing what they didn't know, forgiving ourselves. And for me, I'll just share this personal thing. It's like I'm learning so much, yet I'm so hard on myself for the process of failing that I don't really feel the benefit of it, Like this process of self-hatred, if you will, it's a strong, strong phrase, but I'll say it like that, keeps you from self-love. Because if you're not loving, what are you doing? If you're not being the parent that you want to be for your children or that you didn't get, what are you doing? And it's an act of creation. So, the better skill set is to recognize that when we fail, that's learning. You're just going forward in life. Yet our society just glamorizes all the shiny stuff and the people and the beauty, and they don't show the ugly stuff, like the doubt, or when you have this situation that crushes your spirit and makes you want to quit, and you're making plans to get the heck out of where you are, whatever it is, whatever makes you want to flee. And to know that that's natural, that you have to have that mechanism, because sometimes you're in a toxic situation and people are taking advantage of you. You have to say no. You have to walk away. Now here's the trick. What happens when that's you, your own mind, or what you think is your own mind? Because we don't even barely understand consciousness. I mean, doctors and scientists, they're just now recognizing that thoughts have an influence on our reality. Think about that for a second. That has so many implications. So you're probably, a high performer. You're probably successful in business. You probably have a good family. You probably have a lot of things. Yet there's this thing that persists. And it's like a program. Think of it like if somebody wanted to control your hard drive, what would they do? They design a program to F with you. And boy, does it work. And it's embedded in everything. And it's so easy for us to get distracted. So easy. And forget where we came from, what we are. Little drops of God or consciousness or whatever you want to call source. The toughest thing I've ever had to learn is to forgive myself for just learning. As simple as that sounds. I wish you well on this day. Push positivity.